Hey, good morning. Welcome to my channel, This Old Gold Tarot. My name is Anne, and this is a Capricorn only channel. The only reason is right now I'm really compelled by spirit to channel messages for the Capricorn collective. So any placements that you might have, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, there might be a message here for you. And take what does and leave the rest. So welcome cross watchers as well. It is about, 11:09 Eastern Standard Time on this April 26th, 2025. Numerologically, the number of the day that it reduces to is the number 3. This is your Taurus season energy check-in. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. There might be a message here for you. Hit that like and subscribe button if something does resonate. For those who are back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. So unfortunately, this is actually the third time I've had some false starts with this video. Unfortunately, it's something to do with my camera. But I did want to open this reading with Green Witch's Oracle deck. I love this deck. I don't use it very frequently, only for really special readings. And every time I have used this deck, it has been spot on with the message and the theme for the daily reading. So today's message that I actually pulled, and I didn't want to fudge it and re-pull this particular card, only because I really think it is just central to today's energy, was the Earth. Okay, so this card says at the bottom here, peace and grounding. You know, when I pull this card, I just got this huge feeling that spirit was here with me and is with me. So again, I am going to read the Oracle deck with you. As I do, I invite you to look at the imagery of the card and just sort of meditate on any symbols that, there's so much information beyond the verbal message, but any sort of artist representation of the message can also elicit new, I guess, self-discovery. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome to my table. You'll notice here I do have all of the elements represented. And again, this has been, like I said, the third time I started this message, so I have cleared the energy several times with Sage. So rest assured, all the decks have been shuffled 3 times. All right, the Earth card. The Earth offers a moment of reflection and connection. You may be losing yourself and becoming too focused on work, schedules, and to-do lists. Sometimes you don't realize how far you've strayed from your relationship with nature and its calming energy. Even those of us who work with nature daily can sometimes get set in our ways and become complacent. This card is a reminder to consciously renew your connection with nature and listen to what the natural world has to say. Take a step back and breathe, giving yourself space to find balance. Clear your mind and open it to the communication of nature. Let its energies soothe and revitalize you as you ground yourself in the earth. What a lovely message. Keep in mind that we are at the end of April, and it's a time of year where cars are covered in pollen here in the northern Western Hemisphere. One day it might be 80, the next day you're worried about a frost warning for your seedlings, right? So, and there might be a lot of rain as well. So there's challenges, but those challenges are meant to awaken our senses to this whole other realm that exists outside, we may not even be consciously aware of. It may not be in our presence on a daily basis. And what I mean by that is, take for the example, going outside if it rains, right? We can oftentimes be so caught up in needing to get to work on time, making sure our coffee is poured, trying to get in the car without ruining our hair because it's raining outside, making sure our kids get up in time for school, getting them to the bus stop. Somebody's sneezing, somebody needs some sort of allergy meds, whatever that is, those challenges. I think that what Spirit's trying to do is invite us to say these challenges are not meant to be struggles, okay? In the sense that it's meant to somehow delay us or frustrate us. It's meant to be challenges to awaken our senses. So if you're going outside and it's raining, there's such an opportunity here for us just to pause with a sense of gratitude and to use all of our senses of smell, right? The water, the element of water hitting the element of earth, hearing that connection, smelling that connection, feeling it, that cool sense of those early spring rain. It's such a beautiful world and realm that is all around us, but oftentimes we see it as a nuisance, a burden, when in reality, it's just this whole world that is offering connection. It is offering the ability for us to tap into new realms of consciousness that is all around us, but we just miss it because of our routine, right? And this is what Taurus season is all about, is putting, especially coming off of fiery energy Aries season. Taurus season is that moment of reflection, putting 2 feet on the ground, staying connected, right? And so the Capricorn archetype and the Taurus archetype have so much in common, being 2 earth signs. We are a cardinal, our sign, they are a fixed. But there's so much like synergy that I wouldn't be surprised if you have people in your life, perhaps it's a partner that is a Taurus or even a Virgo as well, but this is a Taurus energy check-in. Taurus energy, the color is green, so it should be no surprise, right? I believe that the crystal or the stone is emerald, that beautiful bright green heart-based energy, okay? The heart chakra is very much domain here, very much at play. And the other thing, this is something I don't know if, and please let me know in the comments, is the angel's number of 444 or 44. It's a very grounded. If you think about the number 4, it's very predictable, right? It's about, we're with you, we are here. Take a moment to take that all in. I have personally been seeing a ton of 444s lately. Every day, I want to say this week, the number 44 or 444 has been popping up. Okay. I would love to know if that's something that is on your radar in some capacity. All right, so let's continue the reading today. I will pull 4 cards, and it's a little bit of a longer reading than my traditional weekly career and finance. I did just put one out for the upcoming week yesterday. This is really encompassing what do we have to learn from Taurus season, this particular Taurus season, okay? All of these planets are coming off of retrograde. There's a lot of energy here, okay? I believe that Mercury today is coming out of, it moved out of retrograde, but it takes a while for a planet when it leaves its retrograde to fully hit its momentum, to hit its stride, if you will. And I believe that day is today. So if you're feeling any sort of new energy coming in as it relates to the mind and the ability to talk, to speak, any sort of clarity there, and any sort of desire to travel, it might be related to that as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. The message just came through. It's very, very specific for somebody. But anyway, this 4-card spread will pull a card which represents the energy you're bringing to today's reading. A card that will talk about what you may inherently know, but it's in the background. It needs to be brought to the forefront. Something you may not know, and any advice from Spirit. So let's go ahead and get started. I did go ahead and meditate on the deck. I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck with you today. All right. We have here the 5 of Wands in reverse. I'm getting Temperance. This is something that we may already know, which is interesting. It did come out yesterday. In yesterday's reading with career and finance in the position of advice from Spirit. So this Temperance feeling is very much here. I think we do know that. We have the 5 of Swords and the position of something we may not be aware of. In the upright position. And in advice from Spirit, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Oops. I love that for us. Okay. Very grounded energy. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Mother of Swords. So this is Queen of Swords energy. Swords, and by the way, this is the Kim Krantz's well-known tarot deck in this interpretation. The Mother of Swords energy, first of all, swords represent an air sign. I think what Spirit is saying is that there's a level of clarity and wisdom that is being brought to the table today. And I think that grounding energy that the earth has for us, that Gaia has for us, is here for the taking. That we're being asked to connect deeply. That there's wisdom here for us. There's a consciousness that is an underrealized energy that we have yet to really fully invite in, if you will. And by really taking stock of this grounding energy and about just spending more time outside, if that's what it means, even if it's for a few minutes, a walk to the car or a walk around the block, or if you have a beautiful opportunity to go to one of our beautiful state parks, wherever that might be, or wherever you are in the world, that there is something there for you that is being offered of this Mother of Swords, this Queen of Swords energy, that there's some sort of level of clarity, that there's something that needs to be cut, okay? She's a very powerful queen. She carries so much mental clarity and wisdom with her, and she wants to give this to us. And there's something that is blocking it. There's something that needs to be cut. Okay, that is keeping us and this sacred connection to Earth. There's something in the way. Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to put this over to the side here. So let's see what it is here around this wisdom that this Mother of Swords is offering for us. That we should really tune our ears to, if you will. We have this 5 of Wands in the reversal, okay? So 5 of Wands, it's, fire sign. This is us. This just feels like a lot of noise, all right? In the traditional tarot, it's a bunch of kids. They're like, they're not really fighting. They just have these batons, and they're just like in this weird configuration. And they're children. It's almost like I'm getting the word noise. Something is distracting. Okay, and this is in reverse. So that tells me that we know that like the energy that we have is that there's all this noise around us, and that we need to take some time out for ourselves. Like if it was in the upright, it was like I would be more worried, because this tells me that all this noise is such a distraction. We can't like really tap into some of this earth-based energy. But it's reversed. So that tells me that we have a desire, we have an appetite for some of this grounding energy, and it's just a matter of us really, you know, taking a time out for ourselves, locking the door if you have to for a half hour, 20 minutes, whatever that is. So let's get some clarity here from the traditional tarot. Why is a Capricorn presenting with the Five of Wands in reverse in this energy reading today? Ooh, we got a flipper. Let's see here. We got the Five of Wands sideways. Wow, definitely a double message here. Anything else that we have to know about who we are and what we're presenting? Queen of Cups sideways. We've got the World sideways. I'm not sure who that was. Anything else? We've got the Magician, the upright, and I'll make sure I put this in your point of view, but we've got the Death in reverse, okay, on the bottom of the deck. This is a little alarming, because it does mean that there needs to be something that needs to come to an end, and it hasn't quite completed itself. We can't get to that stage of rebirth without something coming to an end. And I think that right now we are in this space that we know that something needs to get done. We need to tune out everyone else's comments, opinions of others. That's again what I get from the Five of Wands. We know that. We've already done the work to really, I guess, you know, take what the opinions of others around any sort of situation that you're trying to go forth in your own truth and happiness. We've already done the work to know that we have to do it with a grain of salt. Okay, and that's why it's in reverse. So everybody has an opinion. There's a little nugget of truth in everything, but the reality is that we have to go within, and that is really what that heart space chakra energy is. And I'm just getting the color green. It just is permeating all over this reading for me today. That this Taurus season is asking us to do. It's not just acknowledging that we have to really develop not to say a thick skin, but to really create a little bit more space between the opinions of others versus what it is that our soul's purpose is here to do. So that Death in reverse is saying that whatever it is that we're being called to do is a little bit on hold, right? Something needs to come to an end. All right, so these should come up in, I'm going to pull them in the way that they flipped out in terms of upright or sideways. So the Five of Wands flipped out first. This is just, like I said, there's so much synchronicity. This actually flipped when I was shuffling. And like I said, this is a bunch of kids, you know, they have these wands. This is not a serious fight. This is almost like play fighting, but everybody wants in. Okay, and this is sideways, and it's almost like confirmation of this. This is where we're at. You know, we know that everybody around us wants to weigh in on whatever it is that you might be going on in your life to try and find your truth and happiness. And the reality is we know we got to just, we have to sort of put on a little bit of our earbuds. We need to. I'm picturing some sort of like protection of our ears. Okay, don't listen to everyone. We know that. Then I got the Queen of Cups. I believe she came out sideways. Queen of Cups sideways is saying that, you know, in the upright, just very nurturing, very mother, divine feminine energy. Cups is water energy. This is to me very emotionally there's a child in her throne. There's children above her. This is very maternal energy. She is a nurturer, has a lot to give, and it's sideways. To me, that feels like we may have been giving a lot of ourselves to everyone else around us, especially because we have this Five of Wands here. And maybe it's not so much about what they're saying to us, as it's about us feeling this need to give to everyone else, and now we're depleted, okay? Because we are, we have this need to we want to share ourselves with everyone else. And I think what it's saying is that it's getting to a point of burnout, okay? Well, we can't be everything for everyone. I got this world, and it came out sideways, okay? Another confirmation that worlds are about the end, okay? And it's just like this double confirmation. This is a major arcana card, as well as the death at the bottom of the deck in reverse. Something needs to come to an end, and because if it was in the upright, it would be okay. Or I'm sorry, if it was in the upright, it would be the end is here. We're starting a new beginning soon. It's still not complete. So there's a cycle left for us that we need to complete. I got the Magician on the upright, another major arcana number 1. It's saying that we have the power. We ultimately are the master of our domain, right? He's got this pentacle by him too, by the way, and as well as the cup. He's got the sword, and he's got the wand. He's got all the elements, and he has this power to take that elemental energy and just wield that power to change that which no longer serves him, or to create and manifest a reality that he much more prefers than what he is currently in. Okay, and this is an infinity symbol. It's sort of like, we've gone through all of these elements together, and he has, taken the best of all of these energies, and now he's using it to his advantage. Okay, that's what the Magician does. And so I think what Spirit is saying here is that we know this already. It's within us. We already possess this power, these magical powers. It's just a matter of us using them. And then the last message I got here in the upright rather, was this Eight of Cups. And this is saying that, and there's a moon here also. Cups are water energy in the tarot. Notice that he's walking away from something. So that tells me that there might be some sort of something that we know that we have to walk away from. We just have to allow ourselves that grace that we've done what we could. Okay, and that's I think the major message here that we are bringing to this reading today is that there is something we've been invested in for so many other people, right? It's double confirmed by the Five of Wands that came out twice. This is in reverse, this is sideways. There's other people that are involved, okay, in our reality, in our setting, in our world, okay, in our relationship with others. And this Queen of Cups here is sideways. This is maternal, divine feminine energy. It is sideways. It seems to me that we have put ourselves out there so much to the point of burnout. Okay, and so what the challenge is that whatever it is that needs to come to an end has not finished yet for ourselves. Okay, and we know, again, we have this death in reverse, double confirmation that this is not ended. We know that we need to walk away from it, and we're going to do that because we have the power within. We ultimately have this knowing that we just need to walk away from all of this negative energy that might be here, that is not being, there's not sort of a reciprocation. We're not getting the support that we need when we've put ourselves out there for so many other people. So we really need to take stock, take divine sacred action, and walk away from it. Let it go. Okay, and we do have the new moon tomorrow, so maybe there is something there with that energy, this new moon in Taurus energy. It's a super moon in Taurus energy, so if you're getting this reading in time or a few days later, there might be something here that you need to just, I think Spirit's saying, we need to walk away from those who might actually be more harmful in our life. Some sort of connections that is not really helping us. All right. So let's go on to Temperance, Major Arcana card here. This did come out in yesterday's reading as well. I'm not surprised that it's here. Temperance is about balance. Spirit, why is the Temperance card here and something that we already know? Anything else? Any other message? Okay. Only my message. Oh, I got the blank card. I do keep these in the deck, and well, actually I had two, but one actually flipped out and actually got onto the fire one day, which to me was Spirit's way of saying, like, remove this. But I do keep this because I do honor it. Something here is causing confusion. Okay, so we're confused about something. We know that and this is in the position of something that we know. Okay, so in the position of something we know, we have this Four of Swords that flipped out in the reversal. Okay, so the Four of Swords in the upright is very much about an energy of like, hey, I need to take a time out. I need to go within. I need to take a break. And it's in reverse. Okay, so given the fact that we also got this confusion card, this is very, very Neptunian energy, confusion, delusion. This time, we know that we need balance. We know this already. There's something that's not in balance, and because of this, there's something here that is saying, like, we want to come out and do all of these great things, but unless we do the work to go within, we're going to be in this imbalanced state. It's a very simple message. I'm not surprised I didn't get a bunch of cards that flipped out here, and it's because something is not stable here within us, okay, within our energy. We've given too much to other people, and because we've given too much to other people, something here needs to come back to us, back to center, because right now we're feeling confused, and we're sort of firing in all of our cylinders. We are in a burnout state. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time there. I almost feel like this is a confirmation of the energy that we're bringing today. Let's continue. This is the Five of Swords in the upright. This is about us, and this is something that we may not be aware of. Why is the Five of Swords here in the position of something we may not be aware of? I'll take a few messages. Any messages? Whew. Anything else? That's it. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers in reverse. Okay. So maybe there is a connection. Major Arcana 6, reverse. So first off, if we think about the Five of Swords in the upright position, this is about severing a connection with someone else, okay, or with other people. It's something we may not be aware of. And I just got a download. This is such a synchronicity. We have the Five of Wands in reverse. We know that the people around us are draining us, okay? We've already been through this. But we know that something needs to come into balance. This is the energy we brought to the table. Spirit is saying, okay, in the upright position, we need to cut those ties. This is what this Mother of Swords, she can see, you know, all around. She flies high, right? She's very wise. She can see in the dark. She can cut through the BS. And what she's saying here to us is that all those other people, all those other connections, cut it. Just do not look back. So I think that is really, really clear. That it just hit me, honestly, in this reading. This is probably why this particular position was so short. We're depleted. We're not in balance. We want to be in balance. This is where we want to get to, but where everything feels confusing and scary. And we got the Lovers in reverse. Perhaps this is a long-term, perhaps is a partner. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be though. It could be somebody that just a friend. It could be someone in our surroundings. It could be all of the above, where we just extended ourselves too thin to too many people, and it's saying it's time to cut those ties. Okay. This card flipped out first, so I want to honor it. We've got the Knight of Cups in the upright position. So it's saying, like, once we do this, we're gonna be able to let more in. Something new wants to come in here. And we've got the Ten of Cups, which also came in the upright position in my view, in my perspective, which is your perspective, right? So this Ten of Cups is saying, like, look, cut this. The people that we've given so much of ourselves to for so long, okay? It's led to this imbalance, this position of lack of self-care. That's another way of saying it. And Taurus season is also about self-care. It's about taking the time that we need to get back to ourselves, back to center, to ground ourselves. And so Spirit is saying, like, in the position we may not be aware of, we're still in this midst. We know that something's wrong. We know an option is to walk away. Saying, again, we have this opportunity here. Just go ahead, give the cold shoulder. There's a permission slip here for us saying it's time to cut, to sever those ties. Because when we are, something new is going to come in, some new emotional fulfillment, and we're going to have that happy ending. Okay? Whatever it was that couldn't come to a completion, it's because we haven't completed, cutting, or just really disconnecting. It doesn't have to be like we can no longer be friends. It can just simply be that you're not there to answer every single text message that comes through within the next 2 minutes, right? Without someone feeling offended. We don't need to do that anymore, okay? That takes away, that's like, it's so much of an extension of ourselves about being emotionally available for everyone else all the time. We need to use this magician energy. We need to acknowledge ourselves, do some self-care, go within. We need to cut those ties. And ultimately, the advice from Spirit is that's what's going to lead to self-mastery. That's what this Eight of Pentacles is about, okay? It's about mastering our craft. It's about going within. This is Pentacle energy. Let's see here. Why is the Eight of Pentacles here in the position of advice from Spirit? What messages do you have? What messages do we have about the Eight of Pentacles? We got a flipper. The Hermit in reverse. What additional messages do you have? Anything else? Nope? Okay. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have Justice. So, there's some sort of divine justice here that is related to self-mastery, about us sort of going within, realizing who we are, okay? And just, it is also about work and career and finance, okay? But you'll notice that the spider is very meticulous. He's not worried about where he's going to get his next food. he just continues, she just continues just making this web, committed to the process, isn't worried about if it's going to come in or not. It just has this inner knowing and this inner faith that things are going to be okay. So if this requires cutting off and disconnecting ourselves from the people that we work with, maybe coworkers might be toxic and sort of like their energy is living rent free in our brain. I'm getting that because we did have, what flew out here is confusion. Again, we got this confusion. The Hermit in reverse came out first. And by the way, this is interesting because the Hermit, you know, in the upright position is like going within. He has this hope, the star card, but right now, because we're so focused on everyone else's needs that we can't do the work that we need to within. We're in this burnout state. This is almost like a confirmation of this Four of Swords in reverse. We're not giving ourselves the self-care that we need to just stay committed to us and doing our own thing. We had this guy fly out over here. Who is this? Seven of Pentacles sideways. We can't plant our own seeds and hope for the best if we're worried about everyone else's happiness, okay? Spirit is saying we need to focus on us. This is not a selfishness card. Same with this five of swords. In the traditional tarot, it's this guy, he's like taking the swords and he has his friends that are looking back and they're sort of very much like hurt by the fact that he's like walking away without them. But that's not a bad thing. Right? About we can't pour from an empty cup. When we're so depleted, we cannot move forward. And so this is about building ourselves up again. Building what is grounding energy, building our home, building our nest, building what safety and security means to us again. Because when we don't, there's this confusion and this Hermit energy is in reverse where we're frazzled and the confusion comes in and we can't think straight. And we can't get to the Seven of Pentacles. But there's justice wants to come through. Well, what came here last? We had the Death in the upright position, which is really interesting because we had it at the bottom of the deck over here saying it was in reverse. The Death is in upright. So this again is just to me where there's this justice. So ultimately, what I'm gathering here, there's a clear message that we need to cut these ties. We need to walk away and we need to cut these ties. We know that it's not easy, okay? But we need to not look back. And this imbalance that we want to get to this balanced energy, we know that this imbalance and this confusion, we know that we're gonna get to a space of happiness and this new energy that wants to come in when we cut it. This death will happen and that rebirth is just waiting for us. And this is how we're gonna get this Pentacles in the upright. This is how this justice, this balance, this is sort of echoing the message of the Temperance. This is how we're gonna get to that place. So, use this energy of the Queen of Swords. She's very wise. She's looking down on this earth and saying, go within. Trust our inner self, our inner knowing. Take in all of this beautiful Taurian energy. Put that first. Use that as your center. And when you use that as your center, you're going to see that all of this other stuff, it's a confirmation that we just need to walk away. Sever those ties. Let it go. All right, Capricorns. That was your reading today. I hope that something resonated with you. Again, if it did, I would be so honored for your connection to my community by liking or subscribing. Now, until next time, love and light. Take care.